Hello, good morning everyone. I thought just got a couple of colleagues at work who want to have a look at the functional block diagram programming of a smart relay SR2B202BD 24 volt DC. Okay, so we're just going to get on with it. Just do a bit of housekeeping, which we should have done already. Let's get rid of that. Right, so I'm going to stream it. The process, I've already started on it, and we've got to introduce some extra stuff and sort it out. Okay, so that's going to be about it. Let me just see if I'm started streaming yet. Should have done. Yeah, should have done. Let's see if it's on the boat. And we've got to introduce some extra stuff and sort it out. All right. Okay, so that's going to be it. Okay, so that's audio's working, so I'm just going to get on with it, basically. Okay, so anyway, let's just go on to here. Yes, I'm working from home today on a project for work, and that's it. So here we go. It's not for everyone, but you can see the process anyway. I'll just say good morning and welcome. Okay. Well, we'll just get on with it then. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'm not going to be saying a lot. I'll just give you a quick explanation. We've got smart relay, functional block diagram. So we're going to be programming it not in ladder logic, but in digital logic symbols. We've got our inputs down here and our outputs down there. Okay, I can't tell you whose job it's for. We've got multiple jobs and we've done similar things before, and we're just trying to break it up in a logical format. It's got to be safe, extra safe, really safe. So we're going to have to do some simulations and all sorts of stuff. Okay, right, here we go then. Don't expect too much talking from me. Sorry about that, but yeah, I might even forget you there. Right, here we go. Anyway, this is not it's not my project. This is a project for work, and Jordan at work wanted to have a look how it's done, so you can watch this back maybe. Okay. Right. Let me just go ahead and do a simulation. In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll move me down a bit. If I can. Right, hang on. It's not letting me do it. Why not? That's weird. Just give me a second. Oh, can't seem to move it out of the way for some reason. Maybe it's because I've already... Oh, well, it's going to have to stay there. There's some buttons behind you can't see. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. Okay, I'm going to have a sip. Right, I'm going to run the simulation. Right. Why won't let me to move that? Let me just try something. Hang on. No, oh, it's because it's locked. It's alright, my fault. My bad, because I've locked it. So, hang on. Unlock the face cam. Alright, I'm going to move that down. Just going to put it there like that. Yeah, because there's nothing down there anyway. Well, I'll put it there. And I'm going to lock it. Alright, okay. Right, that's it. In fact, you don't need to see me really, but anyway. We'll leave it like that. Right. Okay. So we're on a simulation. See the controls now. So I've got to set the normal state of the input. So I'm going to FLT door down, safe area loop clear, safe area laser clear, pedestrian gate shut, both gates shut. Barriers, we haven't introduced them into the system yet. So we've got FLT sequence active at the minute. We're on green traffic light flow. So let's give it initialize a pedestrian request to pass. So now that should have gone out straight away. And pedestrian sequence active, that needs to knock that off straight away. FLT sequence needs to switch off straight away. So yeah, it's sort of work in progress. We've got a lot to do. Okay, we've already spent a day and a half on it, setting it up and trying stuff out. And there's lots to wire up anyway. Right. It might help me to talk about it to work out logically where we got to with it. So I've got our ped sequence active there. Let's fix this problem here then first straight away. What I could do with is a button to turn the state, return the state back to powered off state. Other than clicking stop and then running again. Yeah, well, I can do that. Just stop and run, that's easy. Right, so when the PLC is in run mode, very rarely everything will be switched off. You'll have certain things done, like the door could be down, safe loop could be interrupted, laser could be interrupted, ped gate could be open, etc. But we need to know a safe state. So without doing anything, the FLT, right? So that's, and we also, yeah, that's on red. We also need pedestrian traffic on red straight away. So we need to make it default to be in red. Alright, so we need a boolean on the end of this traffic light. There's our OR. Okay. Alright, so yeah, it's a bit of an awkward one, getting this right. That's where you need your brains around you. Do I need my hat on? Leave it on for a bit. Right. Okay. Let's switch the simulation off a minute. So when we start up, we definitely want this to be red. I'll leave that for a bit. It gets a bit. The problem is you get too much going on here. You can get lost in it, but you can't. There is a way to simplify stuff, but by simplifying it, you lose what's going on sometimes. Anyway, so we could end up with a long stretching this out down longer to make space. It's all about making space. The reason you want a functional block diagram over ladder logic is I can see everything that's going on during a simulation. I can see all the indicators and everything else. Right, here we are. So let's just take it one sequence at a time. So it starts up, it's in the FLT sequence, but only when you've checked gates are shut. So the FLT sequence. Right, that brings me back to that. That's active. So as soon as I need to switch off. As soon as I give this input, it needs to switch off the light, which it did do. Right, I need to increase the delay. Try again. So I need to switch that active off. Yeah, it's not working right. Hang on. Try again. This is where you got to try and catch it. I might have to increase the timers. I've got certain timers length to give me so I can watch what's going on. I'll tell you what, let's do that. Let's slow it down a bit. Right, let's slow this down a bit. 4 seconds, let's make it 8 seconds. I need to slow it down so my brain can watch what's going on and catch up. So we're going to slow those two down a bit. Is there anything else to slow down? What's this one? I've already slowed that one down. Right. What's this one doing? Right, that's just a flash thing. Right, let's go back into this. Right. Set the states. I think I can set these states from a button, actually. So we've got our FLT sequence active. So, and we're on green for passage of FLT. The FLT enable signal is there. Yeah, and the door could be, FLT door could be open or closed. It shouldn't make a difference. Yeah, it shouldn't make a difference, which it isn't at the moment in this mode. And also, so the door will be open. The safe loop could be engaged. Forklift truck on the safe loop. And then the safe area could be driven into by the truck. Okay. And then so the truck will pass through. It'll come up, the door will close, the safe area will be left, the safe loop will be left. Safe area entered and left. Okay. So we're still on FLT sequence, which is okay. That's normal. Let's go through the sequence again. We're on green. He drives up to the door. The FLT door opens. He waits till it opens. He drives through. He drives on the safe loop. The door closes. Safe loop is left, and that's it. Stays on that sequence. That's the normal sequence. Right? That's normal. So scenario 2 is the FLT, the forklift truck is in the safe area. The door could be open or closed. The safe area laser could be active. Let's just go on. Let's just say he's just on the loop for now and the door's open. Right, I'm going to initiate a request to pass for a pedestrian. It's remembered the flag. It's not passed it on. It's cancelled off FLT light. Right, okay, so it's cancelled off the green for go, which is might be good or not. It should have gone to red, but I haven't done that bit yet. So right, so now should that cancel off the green straight away? Still active. No, I should be done off the active. So what we need to do is change the boolean slightly there. Head sequence logic. This is only a request. It's gone off to the PED sequence. No, it hasn't. It's a request at the minute. It hasn't gone any further than that. Now, the FLT green LED traffic light should still be lit because it is green to go at the minute, unless as soon as we get a signal we want to turn it to off. Well, yeah, off's good because off's okay actually, because but we need the red to come on. So as soon as we get a request, we want red to come on. Why are we not getting red? We're not getting red because we haven't switched to PED sequence. But we don't want a state where it's neither green or red. So as soon as it gets a request, the green FLT light goes out. And it should go then to red. Okay, so we can change the logic. So as soon as it gets a request, or do you make the pedestrians wait? I think we make the pedestrians wait until, yeah, they are waiting anyway. Still in FLT sequence active mode. Okay. Right, let's have a think. There's different ways of doing this. Let's keep it simple. Always keep it simple. So we'll go back to simple. Just because we've got pressed a button, we've got a request to change the sequence to PED sequence. Yeah, so it doesn't mean that we should stop that, but it'll be extra safe if we did stop it. Yeah, we could change it straight, but it needs to change to red then. So let's see what criteria we need. So as soon as this has got a flag lit up, it will change to red, regardless of whether the door's open or there's already a full FLT in transit through the road. So let's just cancel that off. Let's see the logic here. So we've got an output here that switches to green. That feeds back into the logic. And we've got a signal off the flag for the pedestrian as requested to start a pedestrian sequence crossing. And we've got an output from the PED sequence. Right, so that'll be not active yet. There's the request flag, and then you got the sequence active wouldn't be active, and then you've got pedestrian sequence ended. Okay, so we've got a red. Right, let's have a look at the logic for this one. So they all have to be off according to that to get a logic 1 out. Alright, so all off. And we were getting a... This was on, so that's where we wasn't getting it. Right. Okay, so we need... yeah, so that maybe needs to... Let's change that one to... let's find it, that one. Right, so let's change the logic slightly. So we're going to have a 1 and then all zeros. Switch that off. 1 and all zeros. Right, okay. Right, so we're going to do simulation again. Okay, so we've got nothing going on until you have to, when you power it up, you have to do a, make sure the ped gate's shut, make sure the safe area is clear, and the other ped gate shut. And the ped gate was traversed, and you start a countdown timer, and FLT sequence is active. So to trigger this start of the system, safe area clear, ped gate 1 shut, ped gate 2 shut. Okay, and we're on FLT sequence active. We've got green light, so the FLT can traverse. We can shut the doors. We can open the door, traverse the safe area, close the door, open the safe area, close it, and none of that will make any difference. Okay, so now we could put a boolean on the end of it. We're jumping the gun a bit. If anyone was to open the gate, they're locked anyway, but if they did open the gate, if there's something wrong with the lock and they opened it, they would have gone through on a red light down here. So, but it'd be nice to cancel out the truck if one of these suddenly became active. That needs to cancel out the red light, put it onto red immediately. But that's only an extra safety feat in case something went wrong with the magnet, or it wasn't shut, or it's shut and then it bounced off or something. Anyway, morning everyone. Yeah, Dave working at home today on his functional block diagram programming safety system, keeping his head warm so his brain can think. Right, so we've got so far on this, got the green light, so we're going to give it a request to pass. It immediately goes to red. Yeah, the FLT sequence is still active because they were all shut, which is saying there's nothing there, and it did take over after the timer failed. Timer timed out. Right, so what we need then is what we need now is another so a ped sequence active. So to finish the ped sequence, we need to open a gate, break the safety area, close the gate, open another gate, clear the safety area, and close the gate. And what's that doing? Nothing at all. Ped sequence ended. Walkway was reversed. Ped sequence ended. Right, okay. Now, if it's ended, it needs to set back the sequence back to FLT. No, I missed it, so I'll have to try it again. So I have to stop it. Try it again. So we have to initialize the main sequence. We need to have these on. Okay. Ped gate was traversed and FLT sequence active. Yeah. Onto green. Now we do a request. And we sent a request. We go straight to red. The ped sequence is not active. It's not trying to make it active. It's got a request flag only. It can't proceed until the door is shut, the safe area is clear. So we'll do that. So now the timer starts counting down, and it's got to switch the FLT sequence off and ped sequence active. Now as soon as the timer starts to count down, it needed to reset the FLT sequence. But at the minute that's only done once the timer is triggered. That could have been doing straight away as soon as it times out. So that needs to go from there over to the timer, the Boolean logic here. Right, let's stop it and run it again. Right, start again. So set the sequence up. We're counting down to make the FLT sequence active. Alright, so we're active. We give a command and it goes straight to red on the FLT traffic light. We've still got our flag set. The FLT sequence is still active. Okay, because we've still got something going on here. Okay, so we'll click these on. Now it's counted, you've got a plus there. Now that should then first cancel out the FLT sequence. Right, so we're going to swap this, turn that back onto edit mode. This line, we're going to take it from here instead. So let's cancel off that one. And we're going to take it off here instead. Right. So that's going to cancel off the FLT. So go back to simulation, run. Get the sequence started. So FLT sequence is started. FLT sequence is active. We could put our request in to pass. It switches straight away to red. So it's still waiting for passage of any FLTs. So door is closed and the safe area is clear. It cancels out the FLT sequence, starts counting down the ped sequence active. Yeah, so your ped sequence is active. Okay. That's good so far. Okay, so my ped sequence is active. Now FLT lights I haven't done and ped lights we haven't done yet. That should be on red. No, this Boolean's not quite in the right place. So what we want is an OR on that basically, instead of a Boolean logic. Or we need an OR as well as this. Right. So I need to backtrack a bit and go back to testing. I need to know if before it passes on the sequence. So what I need to do is just stop it and run it. I need to go backtrack a bit, so I'll set the sequence up. Alright, so we're on green. FLT sequence active. Right, put a request in. Request is held because the area is not clear. Go straight to red, and then we got counting down. It's reset the FLT sequence. The PED sequence is not active yet. It's active now. Active now. Now what I wanted to do is interrupt it there, so I'll stop it again. Right, stop it again. Right, now what happens if I give that a sequence now? It's cancelled out the FLT sequence straight away, that's good. And it's gone on to PED Walkway was traversed, right, okay. So I'll just ignore that. So what's this going to do? It's counting down. Oh, we've still got a permanent signal on. PED sequence ended. Yeah. Got to get this in the right order, so. Okay, so what we got? Oh, we're counting down now. Right, okay, so yeah, you can get lost in yourself very easily. Yeah? So you have to break complex problem down into simpler bits. So we're back to PED gate was traversed, and we're on hold. That's lit, and we've got a request flag still enabled. Why is the PED gate was traversed still on? Yeah, it's got lost in it now. We're lost in it. Right, let's try and break it down simpler. The trick is not to go off on too many tangents. You've got to finish one end before you go to the next. If you try too many different scenarios at once, you end up like this, a bit stuck. Right, so what I need to do is backtrack again, start over, start the sequence up. So why is it saying PED gate was traversed? Oh, because I switched them on, that's right. So it's no longer been traversed, and its FLT sequence is active. Okay, and we put our request in. We switch straight to red, but FLT sequence is still active. We cancel off that sequence. As soon as we get a request flag, we need to cancel the sequence off. Right, let's try that. Let's find out where this is going to. So this one's going up onto this Boolean output. And we said we needed to cancel off. That one came into there. Right, FLT sequence, that needs to reset as soon as it gets this flag. Yes, let's do that. Let's alter that. Alright, so we're going to go straight from this flag over to cancel. Right. Okay, I've done that just to actually I can bring that over there. Half the battle is bringing these out the way so they don't disturb anything. Like that's just disturbed the lines cross over. Alright, okay. So leave it like that. Right, let's try it all again. So set the flag pedestrian walkway was traversed, and we're on FLT sequence active. We put our request in, it cancels out the FLT sequence. We've got a red light. We're not active at the minute. We've requested it, which cancels out the FLT sequence. Now the FLT sequence, it's on red. No, that happened straight away, didn't it? So yeah, it stops the open signals from working, but it's gone. Yeah, we need a delay. We can't have that because that needs to switch. Enable the open signal. Can't have a green light and then a forklift driving up to the door quickly because he's got a green light. The door not opening because we've switched it off. Can't switch that. It's got to switch under delay. So let's backtrack slightly. There's a reason we've got everything going on here. Let's just do an undo. Right, so we're back to where we was, yeah. Okay. Alright, let's have a look at that sequence again. This is why what takes the time. There's no avoiding this time taking. There's no avoiding it. So we're on FLT sequence active now. We put a request in. It's changed straight to red, but we're still FLT sequence active. And while we're active, right, so we need to end once we've got a request. Once this is shut, and while we're active, we need to start the second sequence. So we're already on red, but did that count down? Let me stop and I need to look at a different part of it. Right, so here we go again. Right, initiate that. FLT sequence active now. Onto green. We put a request in. Changes straight to red, but it switched off disabled the signals. No, we don't want to do that. We don't want to switch straight to red. We want a timer. Alright, try it again. Alright, just make sure. So we've got that, and these times are exaggerated, so just to see what's going on. FLT sequence active, so we need that there. Now our request to make it inactive, it's happening straight away. We can't have that. So our request flag is going through to the wrong thing. It's because we took our signal earlier off this bit, and we can't have that. We need to take it off only when this is active. So we need to delete that one. I need to put it back over here where we had it from in the first place. Right, so we're back to where before we did anything. Right, let's initiate this. You have to work, if you leave a project for a few days and come back to it, you have to work out where you got to. Right, so FLT sequence active, request. Now my logic's wrong there, isn't it? Let me change the logic back. So we need to go back to this logic here. Right, let's start again. So you can see this is the way it's done. Okay, right. Get the FLT sequence active. I have to wait 8 seconds for that. Actually, so we're active there on green. I'm requesting. It isn't. It's switched it off straight away. We don't want that. On a request, we don't want to be switching anything off. So begs the question: what made that switch off? I missed it. So let's try again. Right. Wait. Hang on. I'll tell you what. Let's make this quicker. Right. So let's put it on 3 seconds for now. My toes are getting cold. I don't know why. It's weird. Right, anyway. Right, so we've got the 3 second, we're active. We put the request in and it switched it off straight away. So my Boolean here is not quite right. Yeah, it's getting the signal off here. So we need to alter that. So that one there, that's coming off. So we're picking up that one, we're picking up that one, which is PES sequence ended. Maybe these booleans need to be an OR, really. We've got that one coming up from over there, and yeah, this FLT sequence active. Yeah. I think now we need a boolean. Don't know. Let's take that one off a minute. That's causing us a problem. Let's take that off from there. Put it into there. Right, let's check the boolean. So that needs to be off. That needs to be ended before it can alter this. This is where it gets a bit confusing. Right, let's just alter this a minute. So we're on that one. Oh, we can't alter that off now. Right, so we want hang on, let's just put something to there. Let's just put that to there a minute. And alter this off. Let's get rid of that one. Right. Okay, so let's just put that. We want all off. Right, that needs to be off, on there. Right, okay. So 1, 2, 3, active. Put a request in. I put a request in. We're still active on the FLT, which is good. Our PED sequence is non-active. FLT sequence is active. We've got our request in. We've pressed our buttons multiple times. We remembered it from the first press. Now it's still active at the minute because we've got a flag that we need it to change, but we're still able to open the door on the FLT. Can open the door, still on green, and we need to close this area off, so the FLT door needs to shut and the safe area loop needs to be clear. Okay, and now that's switched straight to the red traffic light and cancelled off the FLT sequence. Now it's counted down and enabled the PED sequence to become active. Okay, so that looked okay then. Right, so the PED sequence is active. So let's see if we can cancel it off by opening the gates, going into the safe area, closing the gate, opening another gate, clearing the safe area and closing the other gate. So the PED sequence has ended and the PED gate walkway was traversed. Now it hasn't gone back to FLT sequence. Is there a reason? It should have gone back to PED sequence ended. That needs to be cleared from this sequence here. Alright, so our logic somewhere is, so we've got our PED gate walkway was traversed and it's reset that sequence, that's fine. Now AND, so that has to be, and that has to be to set off the FLT sequence. So our PED sequence only gets cleared off this, so that condition can never be met. PED sequence ended, walkway traverse, that needs to go straight up to there instead of from out of that one. Has that got a knock-on effect? Let's see if that's got a knock-on effect. Would that have a knock-on effect? At the minute, that condition can never be met, so it'll never clear this PED sequence ended. So we can't, and we can never get this. Yeah, so that outputs from there, PED sequence ended, or, and the Boolean, let's find out what this Boolean is supposed to be a minute. Right, it's supposed to be 0, what, and all the rest on. Okay. So these are going to be on, that has to be 0, and we had a permanent output off that. So this reset has got to come from this here. Now that ended. Let's take it off a minute. Let's try it. So the ended one, it's got to go up to there. Right, let's give that a try. Let's give it a save and run. Okay, so we've got a default FLT on red. That's probably okay because we haven't set the sequence off yet, so we've got to do that and initiate the onto green. FLT sequence is active, we're on green. We put a request in. We get 2 flashes to acknowledge that we've pressed our button, we've put the request in. You can't get another one. So the FLT sequence is active. Now we're still on green and we're still able to come out the door, and we could fix the door closed and the safe area off. Let's switch straight to red, and it's counting down to switch on the pedestrian sequence. Pedestrian sequence is active. Now that should have been on red, stay on red once it's triggered. So we need to alter that in a minute. Now we haven't got to that bit yet. Alright, next one is don't get lost, don't get too advanced, too ahead of yourself. That will sort out in a later bit. Right, so this one we've got PED sequence active. Okay. What that should have done was switched over these. We haven't done that bit yet. So we'll pretend we're going through the sequence. So we're opening a gate. We're in the safe area. We've closed the gate. We're opening another gate. We've cleared the safe area. We've closed. Alright, so the PED walkway was traversed and it switched back onto FLT mode. Yeah, so that's right. So let's go through the sequence again. Request a crossing, go straight to red. No, shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that. Mind you, he was clear. Everything was down and clear. It went straight to red. No, so it didn't give a chance. Right, so let's cancel that. Start again, because I missed out what was going on there. So we're on red. We close the gate. Right, so we're on FLT sequence. Active, green. We put a request in. Stays on that, so the request has gone through. It's acknowledged us. We're still on active. We need to traverse the Right, we've traversed it, and what's happened? No, we shouldn't have traversed that. We haven't shut them too. Right, so yeah, we're still active. It didn't matter that we open and shut them, but we need to put in. We'll put some logic in after these if these get interrupted, it will immediately start flashing the red. There's some sort of error gone on, but we need to sort the errors out after. Get the logic working first. Right, so we'll finish the sequence off. Gone straight to red. You're counting down, and you're right. We can go active. We've got a permanent reset on this latch. And it's coming from this sequence here. Walkway was traversed, so we didn't get. We got a permanent signal coming out of here on the reset. Yeah, because we reset the PED sequence, the forklift truck sequence. That's right. I don't know what my steel toe cap boots are making my feet cold for some reason. Right, I'm just going to have an interim while I go and check whether the eating is on right. I'll be back in a second. Now we're back. Okay. Just took my boots off and put my slippers on because my toes are getting cold. Anyway, right, get back on it. Oh my god. Yeah, let's just juggle the seat there a bit. Right. Right, the trick is to try and do this without giving your brain ache. You can do it in a logical order. It's quite complicated. It's not a quick thing. It's not a quick thing. You got to test every scenario if you can. And even when you finish with the simulation, you've got to get it wired up on and programmed up on a real PLC with buttons and physical, and you've got to try everything. Press buttons when they're not supposed to be pressed, and do silly things with it to try to get it to fail. And if you can't get to fail, and it does everything how it's supposed to, you almost need a first stage is a simulation, and the second stage is another simulation, but with real switches and real equipment. And once you're happy with that, the next is to put it into a real scenario. Anyway, right, where did I get to? So PEDs. I've got these LEDs because you need to know what's going on at a glance. Okay, now they're scattered around a bit, which is not ideal. But what I did on one of the projects, I put a whole row all the way across. Hold on a second. Alright. Okay, yeah, so what you need is a set sequence. At the minute I'm having to look around the screen from there to there to there to there to there. So what I could do is, but by adding a sequence, you're adding more wires to it. If I put LEDs in a row here, ideally you'd have them in a row here. I've done that before, but the trouble is by adding them, I'll be putting more wires in, and the more wires, the more things to look at. You want less wires and keep tidy. And what I'll do is, with all this mess here, I'll line it all up eventually. But if you do it now, we're not finished yet. So when we finish, we tidy it up after. We'll turn it into like a better wiring diagram sort of thing. Anyway, right, let's just check everything's all got. Yeah. Right, so we're on PED Gate Walkways Traverse. We're on a traffic light of red. Ignore these traffic lights at the minute because I've got all this open stuff that's not been done. Look at these things for now. These sequences. So we've got a request to pass flag. We've got a sequence that gets activated at certain times. PED sequence. We've got FLT sequence. We've got PED Gate Walkway was traversed, system was reset, and a PED sequence ended. So now have we got an FLT sequence ended? Do we need a FLT sequence ended? No, I don't know. That's yeah, we haven't actually got an FLT sequence ended. We've got an on delay for an FLT end PED sequence, right? So we haven't got that one. Now, do we need one? No, because the sequence we're interested in is the PED sequence. That the default is the FLC sequence active, so it'll never be ended. If it's either active or it's not active. So there's no actually ended one. There's a default to being on anyway. Anyways, right. Let's just do some more tests. So we're stuck in this stage where we've got a trigger to be on and we've got this reset on, so we can never start the PED sequence. It doesn't matter what we do here, it's never going to, it's always resetting. While this is on, this pedway, while that's traversed, so this needs to be, rather than this be a, hang on, where did I get it from? There. PED sequence ended, right, hang on. Let me just stop it a minute. I've got to find out which is the last one we put in. It was this one, wasn't it? Yeah. Was that the one? I think it was. Let's just do an undo and make sure. Cancel link. Yeah. Redo link. Yeah. So that's the last one we put in. And it cancelled off the PED sequence ended. Right, yeah. No, I'm not sure what that should be doing that. Alright, so once it's traversed, why is it doing that? Have I put that in the wrong place? Let's just cancel the link. Cancel clear. Oh, redo clear, I don't know. Right, so we've got this open here. And we had it coming from, this is where you got to keep track of it. So cancel clear, cancel, no, redo clear. So, see, it can get lost so easy, redo link. Yeah, so the output of this, I think we were coming out of here, but then a condition can never be met to reset it. So once we've traversed it, we're ending the sequence, but we don't want a permanent signal on it. Let's just go through the process again. You've got to do individual bits here to make sure everything's right. So we go on to FLT sequence, put a request in, you get an acknowledgement off as far as it goes. It's still active at the minute. We need to clear the area, shut the door, cancels off the FLT sequence, it starts counting down and it activates the PED sequence. Yeah, the PED sequence is on the go, that's fine. That's off. And then we traverse the pedestrian area. And that sends a signal over to FLT sequence. That was a bit quick then, wasn't it? So we've got a permanent reset on this FLC sequence active. So PED gate can never be traversed, that's fine. And that's going up and we're enabled there. For some reason that worked that time. Right, so we got ourselves into a sticky, stuck on state. Right, so we're at FLT sequence. Now, if I break the sequence, that's okay because we're traversing the safety areas. That's fine. Yeah. And if I give another request now to change state to pedestrian sequence, it's gone to red. The FLT sequence is cancelled out. But that did it straight away, didn't it? We don't want straight away. We want controlled. Yeah, so what we haven't got is a request for a FLT sequence. Let's try again. Stop it. Run it. Okay, let's normalize this. Okay. Alright, so we do all that or whatever. Alright, we've gone straight over to cancel off the... No, we need a timer. When... Alright, let's just go through this process. Alright. So we're on FLT. Yeah, that's fine. And we give it a sequence. It's acknowledged it, it's remembered, it's still on that. So we cancel that off, it goes straight away. No, we don't want going straight away. So this output here, so that switches and this switches. Oh no, that's, yeah, that switches. Right, so we need some additional delay time here. Pedestrian acknowledge flash. Right, we need a timer. That's probably why I put that there earlier, the other day. We need to a request to FLT request to pass. We need. Well, let's put one of those in. Well, let's put it here where it is actually. Okay, so we're going to call this. Right, so it's going to be a timer. Right, so we need to. Right, so we need a request to pass. When the sequence, when this PED sequence is ended, it needs to go over to. That needs to do that, but it needs to, this green light off this boolean needs to be done off a timer. Right, so we're going to have to put a timer in there. Let's put a timer up there. Now it needs to be non-persistent, so it needs to be a set. Alright, so we go from there to there. We're going to take off this, put that onto there, as well as take this off. I'll put that onto there for a minute. Okay, now this timer, we're going to give it 3 seconds. Now we're going to go call this one. Have we called timers or anything? Yeah. FLT sequence on delay. Right. So we've already got an on delay there for the FLT sequence, but it's not it's not working for us. Oh, that's for the end FLT sequence to be on. Right. So we've already got something then. But that's not quite working for us. Why do we need this one? Anyway, let's just put that in there. So FLT sequence active. So it's setting it active off this timer, which is set to 3 seconds. But the problem is when we get a trigger, it's switching it off. So we need an off delay. We've got an on delay, and we need an off delay. Yeah, we need an off delay. So we've got a delay off, an on delay, yeah. So when it switches off, we want to delay it, I think. Right. Let's see what we get. Okay. So FLT sequence is active. And we had a slight delay. Right, so we had a slight delay. Let's carry on with this and give it a pulse. So it went off straight away. It went to red straight away then. That's still based off a non-timer. And that stayed off straight away. Alright, okay. So paired sequence is active. Right, so we reset that. Still going off straight away. Right, so that needs to be the other way around, doesn't it? Let's see what's going on. I mean, you've got to have eyes everywhere watching this. Right, so you've got to put a request in. Let's swap straight away, isn't it? Right, so we need to alter this a bit. So we've got an output here. So we got right, so we need a timer. This logic is okay, but it needs right. Not sure what we need, so let's copy that. Let's have another one here. Let's get rid of that and let's put that in there. Okay. Well, let's start again. So that did come on. So let's stop it again. Run it. So after 3 seconds it came on to red. Alright, so it's red. So we're on red. Okay, so we close, do all that, and we switch to green. So the red's gone off and then the green comes on after a while. Okay. Right, so then we go on sequence active, we close the doors and we do a request. And they've both gone off straight away. Right. Paired sequence, right, something gone on there. I need to sort that out, don't we? Maybe we need this to follow exactly ped sequence logic. Let's go through the sequence again. Right, let's make this one or the other. So unless that's on, yeah, so let's just do that. Right, so if that's on green. If it's not on, it's on red. Let's just get rid of this a minute. Let's put in a inverter. Put an inverter in there. Let's just switch straight away now. I wanted some kind of control of it, but maybe we can sort that out after. Right, let's see. Okay. Right, let's have a look at this. So we're on red straight away. Okay, resetting it, and yeah, it changes to red. You got your open signals enabled and your green traffic light. Then you can traverse it, then you can get your request in. Now for some reason your request has cancelled it out straight away, so you don't want that to happen. Let's try it again, see where it went wrong. Right, we're on red, we're on green. We're on green, and we put a request in. That's counting down. Right. So we've put our request in. We need it to come off this one, not off that one. So I've lost again, so let's go again. Go again. Alright, we've switched over to the green. I'll put a request in. I'll leave that off for a minute, put a request in. I get acknowledgement, it can't pass it through. So the door's closed, we're clear. We've switched straight away. And that counted down. Head sequence is active. Didn't switch it though. Right, so we need to do something with these two. So we need to trigger a set bit on this one. Yeah. Right, let's unwire. Right, we want a set bit on this. Copy and paste. Okay, we want an indicator. An amber indicator. Over there. Okay, so we want that over to there. We want that over to there. Okay. Right, so we've got that, and we're going to go into here. Yeah, once it's set. Okay, this needs to be, that's the green, so the red one needs to be the opposite of this. Okay. Right. I'm still not using this bit at the minute. Let's try it. So we're on red. Start our FLT sequence. It switches over. We're on green. We're enabling the open signals. There's a FLT waiting. I give our open signal, get acknowledgement. FLT door is shut. And we're still on green and we're lit. Alright. FLT sequence active. So we needed to signal off this to do something here. We need to reset this somehow. Could it come off that? Or is that just going to give us what we had before? Let's try it. Righty here. So we've got green. We're lit up. Potential. Oh, that's not right. Hang on. Let's change that. Right, so this is FLT sequence active. We've already got an FLT sequence active there. We're not using it though, I don't think. Right, we're probably duplicating something here. But we need the timer. We can get rid of that after. Right, okay, let's try again. This is trial and error, a lot of this. You've got to make sure you test everything. Right. So we're active, we're okay. We're still active, now we close. Right, we're counting down. That's switched to red. No, that's switched to thread sequence active. So we've got some logic here going on. Now does it reset it? Let's go through the sequence again. Open. Right, so we're switching Walkway traversed. And we're back onto FLT sequence. We put a request in. And it cancels it out. Now what we've got to make sure is okay. So that's going. So we're back on PED sequence. So that cancels that one out. back on that one. So we've got a cyclic thing going on, which is it's running sequence, then going back to what we haven't got is a timeout, but might not need a timeout. Right, so we'll go on to have a sip of this again. Right, so we've got an operating sequence. We're on green. FLT is active. Right, so they drive onto the thing. Door opens. They drive onto the safety loop. They're in the safety area. The door probably shuts. The loop shuts. They think we put a request in to pass. Get acknowledgement. Nothing occurs. Still got the laser area still active from the forklift. He goes away. It starts counting down, finishes the sequence off. And then this one carries on in. Okay, now we've got to work out safe area entered and left. Right. It was entered and left, but for the forklift. Well, try again. Right, put a request in. Oh no, we're still on that. Okay, we're going over to pedestrian sequence, FLT. Yeah, FLT's back on again. Put a request in. Right, so it's just, we're on ped. Let's do this. FLT sequence. So we go, put a request in. It switches over, then we suddenly break it, cancels it off. Back in again. Alright, that's counted up. So he's clear, and it holds it off until he's gone, which is good. They all do it, do they? Yeah. Yeah, so if any of them get interrupted, it holds it off, but it remembers the flag, carries on the sequence. As long as they remain clear, it will allow the sequence to continue. And it's switched over to red. Pedestrian sequence is active. Traverse the system. FLT traversed. It goes back onto that. Right. What happens if I traverse the system, push the gate open by accident? So we're on FLT, so we put a request in. Okay, it switches over. So it switched over to ped sequence. We do the traversing. And we count down and I open the gate. Right. So not taking my Boolean into account over here. No, that's probably because we're on an active here. Yeah, we're still active here. So we need to feed that back over to, needs to cancel out if the FLT sequence is counting down or running. Now counting down to start to run, and anyone opens this, well, they'll be locked anyway, but that's beside the point. If they happen to push the gate open, that needs to interrupt the ability. So we need to bring this over to, in order to start the sequence, they have to be there, but then as it's counting down, right, so we're in FLT, so request another one. Alright, so FLT on red. Right, we're on PED sequence, we're on red. Okay, and we're counting down. And we're switched over. But if we do that, yeah, if any of these get switched over by accident or kicked open, we'd need to cancel this out. So while this FLT sequence is active, if any of these get opened, now the safe area can be traversed, but if any of these gates get opened, it needs to cancel off the FLT sequence straight away. Right, so that needs to be reset. This logic is still active. Right, so we need to somehow, that's got a permanent reset there while that sequence is active. But if this, any of these get opened, I've got a boolean there. We need another boolean to go up to here. So this FLC sequence cannot be on while them gates are open. Right, let's put a boolean in there. Here's a boolean. Right, so a boolean there, and we'll connect up the PED gate. Right, where is it? So PED gate and the other PED gate. Right, so when it, oh, you can't see that PED gate lined up with that in it. Right, now you can see it. Yeah. Okay. Right, so this boolean, it needs to be able to stop this. So we need to take that off there. I need to feed that into there. And that needs to go into here. Alright. And we need to set this so FLT sequence logic. Right. Yeah, so that's the same. So they just need to be on. So all we need to be is to be on. On. That one. Okay. Right, let's try it again. Right, here we go. So our FLT sequence is active. We've got two things there, we need to get rid of that in a bit somehow. We put a request in. We put a request in and it's counting down. Alright, test sequence is active on red. Okay, so we open and close the gates. Right, and if we get a sequence that switches it over, and if anyone switches it off, we've got a set latch on there. Now, do we need a set latch? Yeah, because we want the timer, don't we? Do we want the timer? Don't know if we need the set latch. Maybe. So that needs to... Yeah, it needs to go to the other side of that, doesn't it? We need to move that. We need to go... We need to change that output. We need to do this boolean. We don't necessarily need that. We need that going up here. We need that going over to this set bit. Oh no, this output. Yeah. Let's take that off there. Okay. Need that off there. We need that logic. We need to, right, sort of. I want to keep them this. I can go over. That needs to come over here. I need to just juggle them down a bit. Right, that needs to go into there. Alright, that needs to go to there. 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 Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah, a lot of this is about just manoeuvring stuff. Welcome to live stream. I'm just live streaming a bit of day job work. Doing some smart relay programming with functional block diagram. Basically, a safe passage for a walkway. When you got forklift trucks coming one way, pedestrians required to pass. And that's it. We're just on about day 2.5 of it. Done similar systems. This one started from fresh. So day 2.5. Got to go through each sequence individually. We're adding some Boolean logic here for safety. Okay. Thought I'd stream it because one of the lads at work wants to know how to do it. So we're streaming it so they can have a look. See what the idea is. Not sure if anyone else does it the way I do it, but anyway. Maybe we can come up with a better idea. Right. So I've just added that there. Let's set the Boolean. We no longer need that one. We need it to do. That needs to be on. All these three need to be on. So on. Oh, it was that one anyway. Sorry. Right. So we're going to save it and simulate it. Run a simulation. Switch on. Prerequisites. Right, it's going to switch over. FLT sequence active. Traffic light on green. Okay, we're going to do some traversing. So we're going to open and close the forklift and the safety area in the loop. Put them back to normal. We're going to request a pedestrian crossing. Acknowledgement received. Waiting for. So we're on red. Pedestrian sequence is active. If any of these switch on in the meantime, that's fine. Right, we've opened and shut the area. We're going to switch back to FLT sequence is on. If any of these should be happen to be forced open, we switch straight back to off. Added bit of safety in case something happens. The maglock stops sticking and someone pushes the gate open. It'll default to that. But we need to cancel off. Yeah, it needs to. If it does that, it needs to cancel it off. So we need to reset. If this happens during a, if any of these happen during a FLT sequence, it's not to go straight back. It's got to cancel it. And the only way to cancel it is that's still active there. We need to trigger something. Remember, we need to remember this, but only once that's active. So we remember it. Right. I've got my hat on to keep my brains warm so I can keep thinking. Right. So that's okay, but it needs to be remembered. So once that's once any of these is triggered, forced, it needs to cancel out that. So we need to cancel the FLT sequence or switch it to red until what though? The FLT sequence active is done here. Right, we've got this timer here that needs to switch off straight away though. It needs to switch it off. Right, okay, so we could put an OR gate in there. Yeah, to cancel the sequence. Let's try it. So we'll swap that for an OR gate. We'll put an OR gate in there. So this one will be an OR gate over to the reset. OR gate over to the reset. And oh, hang on. No, that's not going to do it. Oh yeah, to the reset. Yeah, so we need to but they'll always be on anyway, so it needs a boolean rather than no, it always needs to reset it, doesn't it? Yeah, so these will be active, so we need a pulse going open trigger. Right, this needs a bit more going on, hang on. Let's get that out of the way. Why's that there? That's it. Where's that coming from? Okay. Right, got lost in translation now. Right, so I need to cancel off this one if it's in motion. If it's active, any of them get triggered, we need to cancel it off. Right, let's get rid of the OR gate. Let's put a boolean with a bool. Right, so boolean here. Get rid of the block numbers here. Right, so boolean here. So if this is on, right, if this is on, I can go over here, can't it? Right, bit of a nightmare. Let's have a think. So if this is on, do we need to even care if that's on? No, we don't. We don't need that one. So if any of those, we've got our boolean off those two. If they are they have to be shut for it to work, to carry on working after it's already started. Yeah. Now we've got that boolean there, and that's all them three have to be on anyway. But what happens is it needs to trigger it. It needs to cancel it out if it ever gets, once it's opening, the gate gets forced open, then just happens to shut itself. You don't want it to carry on the sequence. You want it to cancel the sequence. So we need to go to the reset. So basically we need this boolean here, any of these three, yeah, any of these two. So I need to reproduce those two again. Right, okay, let's just do that then. So we want another one there. Should be able to bring that up to the same position as that one. No, it's not letting me. Why not? Oh. I need to crank it over. This is where you want. Alright, so you want okay, let's just get it. You have to get it in a position where you can. Don't want to see the line, see. Right, so we've got that, and we want the other one there. Put that on top of there. Right, so we've got those again. And we want to do a reset. But it needs to be a set. It needs to be a boolean, but then a set latch. So a set latch to reset the latch. That's weird. Okay, let's try it. See if we don't get into a mess. Right, so we're going to have a boolean on that. And that's going to reset it. Okay. Reset that. The Boolean is going to be, that can come down to here. Hang on. That needs to be an OR gate with that, doesn't it? Right, let's put an OR gate in. An OR gate to go up to that. Reset. Alright. Let's get rid of these block numbers. Right. So we've got an OR gate. So we go in on the OR gate. We come out of here onto an OR gate. Alright. We need to spread these down a bit. Right, so we can watch the wires. So we've got our OR gate. We need to be able to reset this as well at some point. Let's keep these lined up. Okay. Let's keep them like that. Right. So we've got our OR gate there. If any of these, let's set the logic. So it's got to be, they need to be, oh, we don't need that, do we? Sorry, why do we need a Boolean? No, we don't need a Boolean on that, we need an OR gate. Let's get rid of the OR gate. Don't need a Boolean, we need another OR gate. So another OR gate here. Right, so we've got to go all the way over here again now. There to there. Okay, another one there to there. Because either one of these opening will cause the OR gate to output to the latch. Yeah, that's a flag to remember the OR gate. So we're remembering it. And it goes through an OR to reset the system. So if either this sequence finishes or this one gets triggered, okay, right, okay. Yeah, just freeing up the lines. Don't like overlapping lines. Right. So let's just bring them over a bit, like that. Like all in one line. Right, save that. Right, where do we get to? So we've got our set bit. We go, either one of those gets pushed open. It's going to set a latch which remembers. That's going to output a reset to the system. How do we need to reset this latch upon, let's just test that so far. Right, let's test it so far. So we're on the red. We're on red. We're outputting an OR. So we've got a permanent reset on there at the minute. right, which is okay. We're going to initiate the bed gates. Bed gates locked and the area clear. It's counting down. FLT sequence is active. It's still got on here a permanent trigger because they're I've got it, look, see that, because they're permanent output to an ore. So I need, right, so I did need a boolean, but I need a boolean ore. That's crazy. Hang on. Mad. So either one of them switches on, it'll trigger the sequence. So we've got an OR gate to trigger it. But then we're going through another OR, so maybe that needed to be the boolean. Or we need a pulse off it. Maybe we just need a pulse instead of a permanent. Yeah. So we set the flag. Once either one of these has been opened during a FLT sequence, it's got to cancel out the sequence straight away. And which it will do, cancel the sequence off. It's holding it cancelled. Yeah. Right, so we're holding it cancelled, so no, we haven't cancelled it out, we're just cancelled already, aren't we? Stop and start again. Alright. So we're stuck on a permanent reset there. Let's initiate the sequence, so it's counting down. It's stuck on FLT sequence. Oh, that's normal, but yeah, it is on there, but we're on red. So we're getting a signal off those two. So what we need is right, what we need is an inverter on them too. We need to invert them, and they're only active if they get switched. Yeah. So if they get switched, so we need to invert them. Will that work? Let's try it. Right, so we're gonna have to turn that off again. That off again. I could take the inverter from there. I'll put it on separate inverter for now though. Right, so we're getting an inverter here. And another one. Bring that down a bit. That down a bit. That up there. Get rid of these display block numbers. Invert that. I know we can pick it up from over there off the inverter, but I don't want to do that because them are coming off after. Right. Alright, these are going to have to come down a bit. They're getting mixed up with all the other lines, so don't want that. Right, that's okay. It's not the best program in the world, this one, for this kind of stuff. It's not the best in the world. That's going over there. Okay, it's not the end of the world, right? So we've got inverted. Any of them come on, it's going to set this flag. Right, let's try that. So we've got the FLT on as standard. It's a red light, so we operate the gates, set the sequence to FLT mode. We haven't switched over yet because this has been set. Right, FLT sequence active. Right, so we need a pulse off this. Need a pulse instead of a... Right, let's change that to a pulse then. Right, so pulse when it goes from off, on to off, off to on. Right, let's have a pulse instead of a... Right. So we've got ourselves a pulse to reset the line. See if that'll do it. Probably doing it as going the wrong, down a wrong tangent here. Right, so we've got a permanent signal off this one, which is okay. Now we've put the sequence into commission. So it counts down. And we've no longer got a pulse. Now we've got an active way. That's good. Right. So we've got an active way. Now, if any of these become... Yeah, we reset straight away. If anyone forces the gate open while we've got a FLT sequence active. But it's not remembering it. Why is it not remembering it? I shouldn't be switching that still. Because it's a pulse. We need a permanent. So we need the pulse. Right. So we achieved nothing there with that. So what we need to do is this is turning into a pulse, so it's no longer taking the output. But what we need to do is feed this back into the reset. So when we get one of them, switch it off, it resets this one. Let's try it. Might end up with a cyclic thing going on. So I need a pulse off that one, so I need another one of these. This is getting a bit silly, but I think this is how I had to do it last time. Right, let's move these down a bit. Right, let's bring this over here. So if any of this lights up and we need a pulse. Can do it from there. Yeah. Right, so, oh, hang on. Oh, yeah. It won't give you... No, it won't give you what you want here. Hang on. You've got to move the right bit. Okay. Yeah, it's the program's a bit wild. Right, so we need a pulse to reset this. Right. You have to spend a bit of time moving these around. If you don't, you'll end up in a mess. Need to get them clear. Right. So we've got a pulse, and it needs to get a pulse when it goes to from on to off, or is it off to on? Yeah, we'll try it that way. Right. Go again. Right, so what we've got so far. We've got a set pin there, that's fine. Holding it off, run a reset. We reset the gates. We've got a permanent signal there. It's triggered and it's cleared the old off. Now we're on a permanent on, so if I interrupt the sequence by barging the gate open, we've done that. Now it's clearing this again. No, it's no good because it keeps clearing it. So what we need to do is needs to basically put a reset on it if it opens or closes. Yeah, this is trouble with too many steps. This is what happens on it. Right, so we come back here. We're getting a pulse when it transitions, so we can't get our pulse off that. What we need to do is, that's no good, giving us, we need to get it from somewhere else. Right, that's our boolean for that, right. So resetting based on this set latch. But we need to reset this from somewhere. Right, so the only way to reset that, we need to get it off something. Not the output though. Paired sequence active. So we're getting it off one of these. But the only way that can be reset, let me just test it so far. Test it so far. Alright, so we start the FLT sequence. Right, we're active. We've got an output on the flag. Alright, which hasn't sent a pulse to there. Now, if we step on, barge the gate open, we go straight to red. Now we're remembering the flag. Yeah, so we're remembering it. But we're back to active again. No, we don't want to do that. So we don't want this pulse here. That can't be a pulse, that's got to be permanent. Right, so permanent, not a pulse. And we've got a pulse on our input. Well, we haven't got it from anywhere at the minute. Right, simulate, go again. Right. And you can see why it takes so long. Right, so what we're waiting for, FLT active, it's not gone over though. Right, so we're still here on reset. So we need something here. Maybe we press the... No, we can't reset it. Need to get our signal from somewhere to reset this. Well, why is it set in the first place? Hang on. Try again. So just run it up. So even without doing anything, it sets it. because these are off to start with. So, alright, so we need a signal off this to say it's been reset when the PED sequence is active. No, when the FLT sequence is active. Let's try it. To do that, we need to break the safety area, open, make sure the gates are closed. Now the FLT sequence is active. Right, so we can then take that signal over to this and pulse it and reset this. Let's try that. Alright, let's try that. Alright, see if we get it. It's hold on a second. Going on to an intro. Back and gone again. Alright, back again, just had to get a bit of technical support. Right, okay. Yeah, I've got a call out as well, so, and I'll do a little bit more to get to this. I like to finish up on something that's working rather than leave and not know where I left off, so, yeah. Anyway, see, I even forgot where I got to now. Right, so we're on the FLT on red. Right, so we just started up, I think. Let's stop it. Oh, we haven't run it. So we're running it. We're on here, and we've got a latch signal onto the output, which is okay, which means it can't start off until we've done our sequence. Let's do our startup procedure. Pedway. Right, so we're switched on to that. We've cleared the reset and we're active. Now if we trigger barge one of the gates open, any of them, it's supposed to trigger this and stay latched to avoid that coming back on. Yeah, that's working. That's latched on. So the FLT sequence is active, but somebody's barged through a pedestrian gate and it's not allowing the sequence to carry on. It's just stuck on red. It's disabled any more users. That need to be switched on. It wouldn't make a difference. Now we got into that stage where I need to do something now further. FLT sequence is still active. It's saying red, don't nobody else come through, because it could have pedestrians in the safety area. But we need to carry on from here. Now we can no longer take any more FLTs. We're on red. So we're still locked on. Yeah, we're still locked on the pedestrian gate. Right. So we need to find a way of making this right again. So that's on red. Yeah, so presumably there'll be someone there. Now, it's not going to put itself right automatically, but we could initiate a request to pass on the pedestrian. Let's try that. Right, is that counting down? It is, isn't it? Right, so we've got our ped sequence active. We're still on red. Okay. So we're stuck on ped sequence active now. Now we for some reason we've got flags set still on the gate open and close from the last transaction. But I need to reset that transaction based on this thing happening to reset this, because I won't have to. It needs to only proceed to the next stage when these have been triggered, but these have already been triggered. So just by triggering one, it will said the pedestrian walkway has been traversed, but it's not true. So what I need to do is find a way of resetting these, because they are being triggered off this. They're being set off this by me barging it open. So it can't, while I'm in FLT active mode, you can't traverse the walkway. You've got to stop it being able to be triggered, which will need an output here. You'll need an output off our set to cancel this here. So it needs to come over to these inputs. Right, let's see if I can attach one over there. So we're gonna output this flag over to, I don't know if I can put another one. I need an OR gate on it, don't I? Yeah. Right, so I'll need to put an OR gate on these. Yeah, I need an OR gate on each one of these. Right, let's quickly put an OR gate on. We're going to need 3 of them there. 3 OR gates. Right, 3 OR gates. Right, so we need, where do we want to put these OR gates? Well, we could put them here, couldn't we? Yeah. Let's cancel these off a minute. Alright, to cancel them off, so we want 3 OR gates off the back of this. Where do I put them? Let's put them here. Gonna need this space for later in a bit though. So we need to put them OR gates. Actually, could do with going here really, couldn't they? Yeah. Let's push these up a bit. Let's put an OR gate there. Alright, we're gonna run out of space quickly, so let's just stagger it a bit. Stagger it a bit like that. It's a pity I've got this 4 input OR gate. I could do with just 1 input OR gate to make some space. Right, let's put that up there. Let's get this over there. I've got to go on a breakdown in a minute. Right, it's all about making space with this functional block diagram. Okay, right, I can't go any higher there, so that's gonna be that. Okay, one more over here. Okay, so now we need to feed the output of this to... Actually, don't need to do that, do I? No, can that be joined up? Can that be joined? Can I do that? Input's already connected, hang on. Let's try this. Can I output that to there? Yeah. It's alright, we don't need all that then. What was I thinking? Alright. Let's cancel that off on it. Let's put this OR gate here. I'll come off this into there. I'll come out of there into there. Into there. Into there. Right. Okay, so these can go back where they were. Put these together like that. All about making space, that makes sense. Right, so we need to come off the latch here into an OR gate. Tell you what, we'll cancel that. Cancel that, and we'll put that up here a bit. Right, and we'll come down a bit. We'll come off this one onto there. Okay. Right. I'll come off to there and we'll come out of here onto there. Okay. That will do. Right, so let's move that along one. Right. I don't like to see that. Okay, so we've got what we wanted. We've got that one or that one to reset this one. Right, let's give it another go. Alright, so we're on red. We're latched up from the power on, which is good. We're resetting it. We're not counting down. Why are we not counting down? Why are we not counting down? Because we've got a permanent signal here. That's a shame. Right. So this output needs to be a pulse probably down here. Yeah, so we can't do it that way. We can't initiate. So we need to turn that into a pulse. We need a pulse here. So pulse from there to there. And we need to output this latch to there. Right. Okay. Right. So we've got our pulse. Now the pulse needs to be going from, I don't know which way around it needs to be, what we got from off to on. Okay. Let's try that. Let's go and try that. Right, so we've got a normal state here, powered on. We've got no latch going on here. So we can put these on. And yeah, we'll be able to initiate a sequence. So we've gone over to FLT sequence, we're on green. Got none of these latched. If we interrupt the sequence by barging a gate open, we've got a permanent latch out. We've still got a trigger there though. Right. So we've got a partial trigger, but we need so I got a permanent signal there, right? So we can't do it off that one. Hang on, which one do we need to do it off? So we've got permanent pulse. So when it goes on to, yeah. So we've got a blocking state there. But that needs to clear the reset. Yeah, in order to just activate a sequence. Well, I don't know. Let's try it. So we're in this blocked up state. So what we'll do is we'll initiate a a call. Right, so we're counting down. We're still on a locked up state here. When that goes on, we're still a locked up state here. So still outputting this signal. Pedestrian signal active. Yes, these can't do a traverse, and so I need that to be. That's staying as it is, isn't it? So I need to do it from another point. Somewhere else we need to get that signal. So these need to be cancelled. Yeah, they need to be cancelled at the start. Right, okay. So at the minute they're getting triggered through an OR for this, which we need. But it needs to be cancelled on this OR gate. As soon as the sequence becomes active, it needs to be cancelled off. Cancelled off. But then we need to get the signal back. So it needs to be a pulse. There's your pulse. So we need that there. Definitely need that there, but we need an OR gate, another OR gate. Or do we have a pulse off that? Permanent off that? No, we better keep that the same. Right, let's have another OR gate. Another OR gate here. Right, so we want one of them off there. Alright, and then we want one off this. Okay, then that needs to go out to there. Alright, we need to bring that down a bit. Right. Is this going to do the trick? Don't know. Trial and error. Right, so we've got our state here, which is fixed into the red. Initiate our sequence. Right, so we got cancelled off the sequence there. We're on red. FLT sequence is active, and we interrupt the sequence by barging one of the gates. We get a permanent switch off, and we've got a reset going on here. We reset them so we can, while we're in this state, we can switch these on and off. Okay. Right. So we're in that state, so we can't do anything unless we initiate a request to pass, which is going to initiate a countdown and switch the system over to PED sequence. Your PED sequence is still active, so it's not getting the right pulse back. We've got a permanent signal going in here, but it should have reset it. We've got a permanent link through to here. Alright, so we're still, if we do that, we're not changing the state, so that's not good. So we need, that's still on, so you've got an OR gate going on there. Right, so maybe you need to alter that then. We need to leave that alone there. Cancel that off there. We need to put another one of these switches in. Over here. I need to come off this one into here. Alright, and we need to come down to this OR gate. So we need a pulse off that. I have to done that thing again. Okay, now we need to move that line there. Okay. So this pulse needs to be hold on a minute. back again. It's alright. Engineer on site is a bit of trouble with something. I don't know, a reader shorting out, or his power supply's failing or something. So I'll get to the stage where this is bit's working and I've got to go on a breakdown myself. Yeah. Right, where did I get to? Okay, I forgot where I got to now. I was testing it. This is the problem. If you get a call, you just get interrupted. Oh, I got earache. Right. It's freezing in the UK today, -5 today. Poor engineers are out on site. I've got to go as well in a bit. Right, so we've got sequence there started. We satisfy the sequence. Starts counting down. It switches over to FLT sequence active. Somebody barges a gate open. It triggers the sequence to be locked in a cancel state. I've got a trigger sequence down here, sequence triggered. Alright. I'm gonna initiate a call, a request to pass. It's counting down. I'm still triggered here. So this needs to cancel out this trigger, which it has done. And we're still on red, which is good. Yeah, that can stay where it is for now. We've got a permanent reset on that for some reason. Why do we need a oh, because we're set here. Oh yeah, because that hasn't passed it on yet. We're in pedestrian sequence mode. We traverse the pedestrian walkway. It ends the sequence. It switches the FLT back over to that. I barge the gate open. It cancels the sequence straight away. Remembers it. Okay. Right, we're in FLT sequence, but we're on red. So there's no sequence going on at the minute. They could say, well, if that triggers, why don't you just cancel this sequence out? So nobody can do anything. It's still on red. Everyone's on red. Pedestrian sequence is on red. The forklift truck's on red because they've barged a gate in between a forklift truck sequence. So they got to come out and press the button to request this pedestrian crossing. This will come out and set the pedestrian sequence, reset the latches, carries on red, your pedestrian sequence is active. If you press any of these, nothing happens. It'll remember that one. It'll remember that you've opened the gate, you've gone through the safe area, and you're back out again. Ends the sequence, carries on, go into the FLT sequence, which switches over, barge the gate, cancels the sequence off. Stuck in limbo, come out and press that. Interrupt it halfway through, pauses it, cancels it out. Remembers the sequence, carries on, count starts all over again because your flag is set. It's got to remember to do the pedestrian sequence. It's doing the pedestrian sequence. You're on red. We need to swap that over to green and all that kind of stuff. And we need to make sure this sequence doesn't start till both barriers are closed down here, which we haven't done. Well, that's going to be it for now. I've got to go on a breakdown, so I've left it working in a working state for what I've done so far. I need more simulations doing, but I'm okay with that at the minute. Right, that's going to be about it. And I'm going to say bye for now. Thanks for watching. Oh, hang on. Hang on, well done. Well, anyway, I've got to a stage, I'm back again, I've got to a stage where, let me just give it one more test, right, so we're running it, and we're on PED sequence, so we open the gate, get into the safe area, close the gate, open the other gate, come out of the safe area and close the gate, which would, we're on stop, so I ain't gonna do nothing, so let's try it again. So we're on here, we're on that sequence, we require, okay, so we need to open, close, open, close, open, close to test the gear out, this won't put it into FLT mode until we've opened both gates and walked through the safety area. It checks the safety and make sure your gates are operational, extra safe, extra safe. Then we're in FLT sequence. We'll request a passage with a pedestrian. And we're on there, red, we've cancelled out that one. We're on pedestrian sequence mode. So we'll traverse the system. Okay, we've cancelled out our pedestrian sequence. We're going over to the other one. We're on FLT, green traffic light. We're going to barge the gate open. So, and we've interrupted the gone through a wrong sequence by barging the gate open. We're stuck on red to stop anything coming through while that gate is in the wrong position. We're going to reset it by activating a request to pass. Okay. We're counting down. We're on PED sequence active. Alright, we're going to cancel out the PED sequence by opening the gate, entering the safety area, closing the gate, opening another gate, leaving the safety area, closing the final gate. It's going to default to going back to FLT sequence, which it is. Yeah, that's good so far. So we just need to incorporate make sure both barriers are closed, and set the barrier to be open and all this. So the main logic's there. We've got to do it there. Right. Oh man, again, intro. Right, anyway, we've got all sorts going on today. Okay, I'm gonna go out. I've got to assist the other guy and pick up some parts, and then go out and do a breakdown. So we're gonna have to call it a day there. How long have we been going to? Nearly 3 hours. We got to a stage where it's doing something that's good. We need to tidy it up. Add the barrier close to it into the logic, and switch on some more traffic lights for pedestrian, and switch off gate locks and stuff at the right time. So we're okay on that. So I'm going to stop that and save it. I'm going to close that. Right, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll carry on with it either later on or tomorrow, whenever I've got to carry on. All right, that's the day job. See you again on one of mine tonight, doing my own project. All right, bye for now. Thanks for watching. Ta-ra.